If they tell me that I got one shot, I'm gonna go. I ain't going out like no, I ain't even no. I'm going out with these riches and these bitches, no. I'm going out that and my business blow. So the words turn, I lost my brother, think about them days. This shit finger slide in my eye, where is what I made. My soul belongs to my family, I can't let them stay. These club players, but I just know forever we the grave. My pictures on the engine, I'm like, in this is the same. I say my life, yeah. I'm gonna ball out with the one I got in with. All the whole ride, going out. Never shoot outside this. I look for real fans. I flip this bitch, you even more. She told me that she can't fuck with me. I approached her like a girl, but she probably looked up in my face. What up, YouTube? It's your boy Protect, man. How's everybody staying safe? Everybody having a good Monday, man. Welcome to Skins Talk on Protect Sports Channel, man. What's going on with y'all? Hope everybody's doing good. Like I said, man. Today's topics, man. Number one, I'm gonna talk about the Bobby Mitchell jersey retirement. We'll put like a nice little recap on the career he had before he got his jersey retired. Rest in peace, Bobby Mitchell, man. Born in paradise, Bobby. B. Mitch, born in paradise, brother. Also, talk about the statue getting taken down of RFK Stadium. Afterwards, I'm going to give you breakout players offensively and defensively. I'm going to give you two players on each side that I think will have some huge impact that no one's really talking about or very little people are talking about on his team. If after that I'm out, bro. So my fault. Yeah. After I'm out, bro. So let's go and get started, man. Like I said, man, if you ain't subscribing, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button on the video. Comment your thoughts as the stream is ongoing. If you're watching on the playback, you can comment your thoughts as well. And let's go and get started. Me set this laptop over here for. Sorry about that. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to get started now. I decided to set my laptop down. So yeah, man. Bobby Mitchell did get his number 49. Number 49 jersey number retired over the weekend. Bobby Mitchell had a really solid career for the Redskins. If you know, he was the first African American Washington Redskins player in our franchise history. He ended his career with 521 receptions, about 8,000 yards, 7,954, and 65 touchdowns his career. Also, he had 513 rushes for about 2,800 yards and 18 touchdowns his career as well. A four-time Pro Bowler, Hall of Famer. Born June 6, 1935. He did pass earlier this year in April 2020. Rest in peace to Bobby Mitchell, like I said earlier, man. Born Paradise, big bro. He played his first 4 years in the league in Cleveland, and then his last, I'd say, 7 in Washington. By the way, he had about 3,000 return yards, too, and about 4 or 5 touchdowns as well in the return game. So, yeah, so he was doing that. He was doing that to people back in the day, man. Bobby Mitchell was getting it in, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He was getting it in, bro. He was getting it in. He deserves jersey number retired a long time ago in my eyes. He should have got retired while he was still alive. I don't know what took the Redskins so long to retire his number after he died. Like, it takes someone to die for you to retire a number. Like, why haven't retired 21 yet? Like that's what's really kind of irritating me a bit. It's like, bro, you retire all these other guys' numbers. Retire. You should have been retired Bobby's number, and you definitely should have retired Sean's number a while back. Like, come on, man. Redskins need to jump on these things like a lot sooner than they do. That's my opinion on that. But I'm glad his number is finally retired. No one should not be wearing 49 on this roster, point blank period. Anyway, if it wasn't retired, but I'm glad it's retired, so no one can wear it. Thank goodness. Bobby Mitchell's legacy will always be a huge part of Redskins Nation. Actually, he's the first African American player to throw in the burgundy and gold, man, and he was very impactful on and off the field. He allowed the guys like Landon Collins, Dwayne Haskins on this roster today. Back in the 2000s with Jason Campbell and Brandon Lloyd, Santana Moss, those guys would not be on this roster. Clinton Portis, Marcus Washington, LeVar Arrington, all those guys in the 2000 era, in the 2000s decade.
And the guys in the '90s. You know what I'm saying? Timmy Smith and I'm saying Doug Williams and all these guys back in the '90s, in the early '90s. They would not have been on this roster. Charlie Taylor, Art Monk, these guys would not have been on this team and on this roster if Bobby Mitchell didn't start it. So, shouts to Bobby Mitchell, man. Like I said, once again, rest in peace, my brother. Um, we appreciate everything you've done for the Redskins Nation. He was using this organization for 46 years. Not A as a player and 30 in the front office. Great guy, man, and I know he's rest in peace for it. So that wraps up the whole Bobby Mitchell talk. Like I said, incredible player, incredible guy off the field as well, man. So definitely Ben deserved the jersey retirement in my eyes. Like I said, comment your thoughts on that relatively quickly if you want to. I'll definitely appreciate if you did. Also, next thing on the list is let's double check that real quick. Um, Oh yeah, the statue destruction. RFK Stadium. Uh, they destroyed a statue in front of RFK Stadium. Which I think that was much needed to do. Give me a second. Give me 2 seconds. The Greg Pearson Marshall statue removed from the Washington D.C.'s RFK Stadium. That happened over the weekend. That happened June 19th. So I felt like Friday, Juneteenth. That happened on Juneteenth. That happened on Friday. Um, they removed the memorial statue. And Marshall was the most one of the most racist owners ever in NFL history. Um, and he wanted to change the time. The name was the Braves at the time in 1933. He changed the name to Redskins. And yeah, so he was the owner from 1961 to 1996. So yeah, that was what it was at that time. He said, like I said, one of the most racist owners in NFL history. So I think that was right to do during this Black Lives Matter movement to get rid of the statue. The statue was basically like a Confederate figure, so it needed to go. I'm happy that happened. RFK ain't gonna be much longer anyway, so go ahead and tear it down before you tear down the stadium. Just go ahead and get all the negative things off the stadium before you tear it down. So that's also another smart thing. So now I'm gonna get to the meat and potatoes of why I'm here. I got that out of the way. I talk about the statue demolition. Talk about Bobby Mitchell. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of why I am here on this channel, on this live stream. Let's go ahead and get started. So look, man, I think the Redskins are going to have a really solid season overall this year, but it won't be a playoff season. Like I don't think the Redskins will win 10 games or anything like that. But I do expect a couple young players on both sides of the ball to really have some nice showings in 2020 and even be better in 2021. So it's like kind of projecting 2 years ahead in my eyes. So I'm gonna start with the offensive side of the ball because that's the most question mark side of the ball. People were saying this offense could be mediocre. Some shout to Street Scores. He broke out the Eric Coryell offense on his channel and said the advantages and disadvantages. And it's kind of a make or break. Not break or break. Go for broke type of offense. Um, no risk it, no biscuit, as Bruce Arians would state. So yeah, it's a very interesting offense to say at least. Uh, so you're gonna have your ups and downs with it, honestly. But as long as you have some balance in there, so you got some West Coast concepts in there and all that. The make or break type of offense that Eric Coryell offense is won't be as make or break as you think it will be. Also, the run game plays a huge part as well. The bounce to run and pass, open play action. All of those basic concepts are in every single offense, but the Eric Coryell is a lot much more deeper throwing. Your completion percentage doesn't matter as much, things like that. So Before I break down the offense, I want to talk about that real quick. Shout out to Screw Scores for breaking down the Air Coryell and the different variations of the Air Coryell. So let's get to the offensive breakout players in my eyes. It's like six guys are not they're getting a little bit talked about, but they're not like really getting like the love that they should get. Number one is Darius Geis, man. I truly think Darius Geis is going to play 16 games for the first time in his career, which is kind of hard to believe, but I think it will happen. Um, just text my mom and all that, my fault. So Darius Geis going to play 16 games for the first time in his career. He's going to have more than 200 carries on his docket for the first time in his career. We saw what he can do in the 5 games he played. Over 200 rushing yards, with 2 rushing touchdowns. He had a receiving touchdown against the Jets. So he actually can catch out the backfield. Um, I honestly think he's going to get 200 to 250 touches. About 1,100 scrimmage yards total. And I say about 8 touchdowns. I honestly think that Darius Geis is going to have a really good season if he stays healthy. I honestly think he's going to finally stay healthy and play 16 games. So the production will match the number of games that left this year. In my eyes, hopefully. Yeah, so next, the heck is this? Next would be next breakout player on offense. I would say Kelvin Harmon is another guy that I honestly think will have a huge impact. I know a lot of people say Steven Sims, so I might put Steven Sims. I think Steven Sims is going to have a huge year as well. But I really think Kelvin Harmon is going to make some plays in this offense. I'm not talking about 10 to 15 catches. I mean, 30 to 40 catches, at least. I know we all hype about AGG. I'm hype about AGG as well. I like Antonio Gaining Golden. I like his catch radius, I like his size. Um, I like almost everything about him besides his speed. But everything outside of that, I pretty much like everything about his game. I honestly do think he's going to be a really good receiver in this league, but with the COVID-19 pandemic, I don't think he's going to get the stats early in the season to have the stats he's looking for. So I do think that Kelvin Harmon is going to be a guy who's going to step up, make a lot of huge plays in the passing game early in the season, and just keep riding it out because if you look at it, if he's playing well, why would you bench him for Gandy Golden when he's playing well? Does that make sense? So Kevin Harmon will take advantage of this COVID-19 pandemic, the natural chemistry he has with Dwayne, and make some plays. We see him make the nice catch against the Lions, that one a nice one-hand grab. He made a nice little grab against Minnesota on a slant route. I see him the playmakers, the Packers, that big play against the Packers. Should make another big play against the Lions if he just held to the football. So we've seen some good things from Kelvin. I honestly do think Kelvin could be a nice number 2 receiver complement behind Terry McLaurin. Terry has all the speed and all the agility, while Kelvin's more of a possession receiver, much more of a contested catch type of guy. He complements really well with Dwayne, complements really well with Terry. So I do think that Dwayne and Kelvin are going to have nice chemistry, like Dwayne and Terry have, and Steven and Dwayne has. And I think Kelvin will make a lot of plays in this offense and reap the benefits of the COVID-19 pandemic and the natural chemistry with Dwayne Haskins. So those are my two breakout players on offense. So I'm going to give you my defensive guys real quick. So I'm just trying to keep on here with you. Just give me 2 seconds. Just give me a second. I'm sorry. Just give me 2 seconds. My fault. But yeah, I just wanted to get some people link to hop on the stream. But yeah, so defensively. So I'm talking defensive players real quick. I do think a guy like Montez Sweat will have a breakout type of season. But I'm gonna say Jonathan Allen's gonna break out this year. With all the attention that Chase Young is gonna have, especially later this season once he gets his feet wet and really starts making havoc on the defensive line, he's gonna probably get double teamed, which allows guys like Ryan Kerrigan and Payne and Ioannidis. Ioannidis is the guy that you kind of have to pay attention to as well. He had 9.5 sacks last year. So them paying attention to Ioannidis, Chase Young, and Montez Sweat had another 7 sacks last year. Um, Half the time he's in freaking coverage instead, freaking 7 sacks. Um, Jonathan Allen kind of is out the mix when it comes to the attention that everyone else is getting. So he's gonna get a lot of one-on-ones. Um, a lot of probably the fourth best offensive lineman on their team will be on Jonathan Allen. He's just going to wreak havoc. I definitely see 6 or 7 sacks from Jonathan Allen. I see about 14, 15 tackles for loss. I see a bunch of plays being made, a bunch of blow ups at the line in the A gap, allowing Sweat and Ioannidis and Young and Payne and Settle and all the other guys to clean up behind what Jonathan Allen left, which is a big mess in the back of your freaking backfield, and them just clean it up and get out to the next play. So Jonathan Allen's going to make a lot of plays in this defense, but on top of that, he's going to help others make plays by blowing up stuff. That's what I like about Jack Del Rio's defense. You're not like two gapping and just sitting there eating up blockers. No, you're destroying gaps and you're making guys go somewhere else. And by the time they try to get somewhere else, the other players are right there to rally. Or you're making a play your damn self. So Jonathan Allen, man, is a guy that no one's really looking at on the defensive line. Everybody's talking about Ioannidis. Everyone's talking about Chase Young. Everybody's talking about Montez Sweat. Um, I saw Deron Payne a little bit more too. But Jonathan Allen is going to make a lot of plays in his defense. You can book that right now. I honestly think that he's going to make a lot of plays in his defense. And as he makes plays, and on the interior, the exterior guys, the guys on the outside, the Kerrigans, the Youngs, and the Sweats will reap the benefit of Jonathan Allen being so damn disruptive. So that's my number one breakout defensive player. And number two, a second breakout guy. Hey, how's it going, man? What's going on? If you hopped in the live stream, man, just say hello. Say what's good, something. Hope you're having a good one, whoever you are, bro. Appreciate you pulling up. Thank you very much. But like I said, so give you a quick recap since you just pulled up. I talked about the demolition of the RFK Stadium statue of that racist owner that needed to go, and then I also talked about the Bobby Mitchell jersey retirement. My opinion on it, real quick. After that, I talked about my two breakout players on each side of the ball. Offensively, I had Kelvin Harmon and Darius Geis as my two breakout players on offense. I talked about Jonathan Allen being my one defensive player standout. And my other one would be it's be interesting. I'm going to say Sean Dion Hamilton. Now, I say that because he's our best coverage linebacker. He's our smartest linebacker, so you want to be calling the defense and all that. And he covers tight ends. He does everything pretty well for the most part. So a guy like that makes a ton of plays because they do everything pretty much well. So you're not really worried about him in coverage too much. You're not really worried about him in a particular area because he does everything well. And also, I think he's fully healthy. And with the linebacker rotation, him getting in and out, he'll be so fresh. So on third downs, he can go cover tight ends. On first down, he can stop the run. On second down, whatever you need him to do, he'll do. So I do think he'll be a breakout player this year, and I think he's going to really shine in this Jack Del Rio offense and defense, especially with the defensive line like two gapping anymore. He better not keep the gap right behind the defensive line to make a play. So I do like that. That Sean Dion Hamilton is a nice fit in this defense. And with him being our smartest linebacker, he'll have the most snaps in my eyes, and he's gonna make a lot of plays, honestly. Um, honorable mention on both sides of the ball. Offensively, I would say Steven Sims. I think Steven is a really explosive receiver at the slot. He's Jameson Crowder with elite speed. If you can imagine that, Jameson Crowder is a really good slot receiver, probably one of the top 10 slot receivers in football. Formerly a Redskins, so you remember Jameson Crowder very vividly. You know Jameson Crowder. Um, he is Crowder, but faster and more explosive after the catch. Like that's scary. And also he makes a lot of plays after the catch, like I stated. He makes plays in the return game, punts and kicks. You can get this guy reverses, all types of stuff from screens. You can just give him the ball. Just give him the ball, he makes plays. So I like Steven Sims to be a huge player in the offense this year as well. So I do have him as an honorable mention. Defensively, my honorable mention will be Montez Sweat. Like I said, half the time he was in freaking coverage last year, um, but this year he'll be rushing the quarterback almost all the time. They might have him step out in coverage here and there just to kind of tip the offense a different type of look. But outside of that, he definitely should be downhill, go get the quarterback, go knife through the backfield running plays. He should be going downhill and even going downhill almost all the time. So I do think Montez Sweat's going to make a lot more plays than he made last year because he won't be in freaking coverage half the damn time. So he'll have more opportunity to make plays. He had 7 sacks last year and was in coverage like 50% of the time. So imagine if he's rushing the passer 90% of the time, he should have 10, 11, 12 sacks. So not probably not 12, but leaning toward the 10 or 11 for Montez. What's going on, man? Faith Pulse Stream, wherever you are, comment when you pull up so I know it was good. Say something in the comment section. I'll appreciate it. Also, let's just give a quick recap since you put up to the stream just now. I talked about the Bobby Mitchell retirement of his number. I briefly talked about that. I briefly talked about the statue getting destroyed or removed from the Arcade Stadium, which needed to be done during this time, during this Black Lives Matter movement. Also, I talked about my breakout players on offense and defense. My breakout players offensively were Kelvin Harmon and Darius Geis. My defensive breakout players were Sean Dion Hamilton and Jonathan Allen. Also, I gave honorable mentions before you hopped in. Those honorable mentions were offensively Steven Sims and defensively Montez Sweat. If you could comment any guys you think will have huge years this year and why, and I'll respond to them and see if I agree or disagree. So comment down below some players you think will have big years this year. Yeah. You got any questions for me? Anything you're wondering about? That's the last thing I want to talk about too. So this is the part you guys probably came for. Um, I'm going to look at the Redskins schedule. I'm going to look at how Dwayne Haskins will do per game, and then give you my full stat projections for Dwayne going to the season. I'm gonna get out of here. So let me go ahead and find the Redskins schedule. Sorry about that. Give me 2 seconds. Also, we're going to play the Eagles. The Eagles secondary doesn't really scare me that much, so I think he won't throw the ball that much. I'm gonna say 17 for 25 as a uh, passing, so 17 completions, 25 attempts. I'm gonna say about 225 yards. I'm gonna say 2 touchdowns, no interceptions off the week 1 game against the Eagles. Week 2 against the Cardinals. I do think that pass rush in Arizona doesn't really scare me outside of Chandler Jones. Um, Pat Peterson is a problem, even at his age. So I don't think he'll play as well as he played against the Eagles. I think the run game will be huge in keeping Dwayne clean and make sure you don't throw the ball much. So I'm gonna say 18 for 24, 200 yards and a touchdown, somewhere on there. I think that would be a fair stat number for Dwayne week 2. Week 3 against the Browns, I think the Browns are gonna jump on us early, which forces Dwayne to throw the ball a lot more. So he's gonna have way more pass attempts in the first 2 weeks. I want to say he'll throw about 24 for 36, about 300 yards. His first career 300-yard game, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. So that's what I think he's going to do against the Browns. So at this point, he has 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. I want to say about 700 yards or so. Um, Ravens game, I said it's another game. I think they're gonna be down early and often, so he's gonna throw the ball more. So I see about 40 pass attempts for Haskins, so 25 or 40. Say 350. If you gonna throw 350, um, touchdown and a pick. That's what I think we're doing in that one. The Rams game, uh, probably a low scoring game to be honest. The Rams did lose a lot of offensive firepower over the offseason. Um, and the Redskins offense it's not going to be too like explosive quite yet because of the adjustment to the new offense. So I think that you try to see a 17-14 game. So Dwayne Park throw like 14-20, like 150, touchdown, no picks. Um, Giants game, I think I'm like the Giants up. So I'm going to go ahead and just get out the way. Outside James Bradbury, nothing scared me in the secondary. Jabril Peppers is a problem, but he's not a major problem. He is a problem nonetheless. But the number one problem is James Bradbury, honestly. But I think Terry McLaurin in particular. So I'm going to go ahead and say 26 to 35, um, 250 yards, 3 touchdowns for the um, for Dwayne Haskins against them. So at that point, after 6 weeks, he'll have another 5 touchdowns, 3 picks, along with the 3-2. So he'll have at this point 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and about 1,500 yards passing at that point in the season. Cowboys game, I don't think he's going to throw much. So I'm saying like 14 of 22. I say about 175 yards. No picks, no touchdowns. Giants, he's gonna light him up again. So, what's going on, man? How you doing, bro? Just want to give you a quick recap of what I've talked about on the stream so far before I continue. I talked about the Bobby Mitchell retiring of his jersey. Afterwards, I talked about the demolition/removal of the statue at RFK Stadium. After that, I gave you my offensive and defensive breakout players in my eyes. Defensively, I had Sean Dion Hamilton, and not Montez Sweat, but Sean Dion Hamilton and Jonathan Allen. I had Montez Sweat as an honorable mention. I picked guys that did not really get talked about too much. Then offensive, I said Kelvin Harmon and Darius Geis, with my honorable mention being Steven Sims. So now I'm talking about the Dwayne Haskins prediction throughout the season, how he would play against certain opponents. At this point in the season, the Redskins are 2-5, I believe, and he's thrown about 1,800 yards according to my projections, 10 touchdowns and 6 interceptions so far. I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the games out of the way. I think he's gonna play really well in. After what was it, week 7 against the Cowboys. I said week 9 against the Giants. I come off a bye week. I do think the Redskins hit this stride offensively, score a bunch of points. So I do think he'll throw like I say like 25 32, 265, 270 yards, 3 touchdowns. The game against the Lions, I think is going to go pro another 250-yard game, 2 touchdowns, no picks. So 5 touchdowns and no picks after the bye week. At the point of bye, I think he has 8 to 5. So at this point, he'll have 13 touchdowns to 5 picks. And then the Bengals game, I think he'll light them up too. So another 3 touchdown game. So he'll throw 8 touchdowns in 3 weeks and no picks. That's what I'm predicting there. So he will have 16 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. The game is a Cowboy. We're going to play well. So say like 15 to 20 for like about 165, 170 yards, 2 picks, no touchdowns. Still's game, I don't think he's going to play well. That gets that defense either. I'm going to say no touchdowns will pick and like 200 yards passing off like 22 attempts, 15 completions. So at that point, he would have threw number 2 picks in a row. The Niners game, don't think he's going to play well either. I think he's been one of multiple turnover games. So like a fumble, 2 picks, a touchdown pass, about 200 yards passing, off 30 attempts and like 20 completions. It won't be a good game, I'll say at least. So at that point, he would have threw 1 touchdown, 3 picks, 1 touchdown, 5 picks. So that brings his ratio to, I said what, he was at 16 to 5. So that brings it down to 17 to 8. 17 to 8 at that point. Yeah. Oh, 17 to 10. 17 to 10. I'm low. I'm kind of tired, so sorry. So 17 to 10 at this point. The Niners are the Seahawks game. I do think he's gonna play relatively well, not great. But I think he'll play okay. So I'm gonna say like 21 or 30, 220, and 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. But they'll lose, unfortunately. The Panthers game, I feel like the Panthers up. Ron wants it, they want it, so I think it's a game we're gonna be up for. And no, we should not sign Cam Newton. I'm not. No, don't sign Cam Newton. No. We're fine with what we have. We're fine with Dwayne Haskins and Kyle Allen. What's going on, man? Welcome to the stream, whoever you are. Thank you for watching. I very appreciate you coming to the stream. Thank you very much. I'm gonna give you a quick recap of what's going on. I've summarized the whole Bobby Mitchell jersey retirement. Sorry, my roommates walking around. Also, I have talked about the demolition / removal of the RFK Stadium statue. Afterwards, I gave you my breakout players offensively and defensively. Those players are as follows: Sean Deion Hamilton and Jonathan Allen defensively, and offensively, Kelvin Harmon and Darius Geis. Also, honorable mentions were Steven Sims and Montez Sweat. And now I'm talking about the Dwayne Haskins season and how he's going to play in my eyes, game to game. I'm at week 15, and Dwayne Haskins has about 2,800 passing yards, 17 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. And I said against the Seahawks, he'll throw for 220. So he'll be at 3,020 passing yards. I said 2 touchdowns and 1 pick. So he will have 19 touchdowns and 11 interceptions at this point in the season. The Panthers game, like I said, I think we're going to light them up, play really well. What a very few games we'll win this year. So I think he'll probably throw, let's say, 25 pass attempts. I think the run game is going to be huge in this game as well. I'm going to say 240 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. So that puts you at 22 touchdowns to 12 picks. If I guess the Eagles in week 17, I expect Dwayne to play well overall, but they don't win the game. So he'll have a couple of turnovers, a couple of really bad throws, but outside of that, he should play relatively well in this game. So I'm going to go ahead and say 25 or 30. So really good completion percentage. 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. So that puts Dwayne at 25 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. That puts Dwayne about 3,500 passing yards. And that probably about a quarterback rate around 80 to 90 overall for this season. So that's what I have. I have 3,500 passing yards for Dwayne, 25 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. That's why I had Dwayne at. Comment your thoughts. Let me know what you think about that. And as for your question, Scott Route, ask Scott Route about Cam Newton. We should not sign Cam Newton. That's dead. I like Dwayne. I think Dwayne's going to play well this year. I think Kyle Allen is a very competent backup. He's played really well at this level in the NFL, and he's thrown some 4 touchdown games. It's not like Kyle Allen's a complete scrub. He's like complete trash. So I'm fine. I'm fine at quarterback. I'm signing Cam Newton's a waste of time to me. We don't need a starter. We don't need a backup. We don't. We need to see what Dwayne has. Now, if Cam's out there next year and Dwayne throws up all over himself, and I don't predict, obviously, then if he goes pro for 14 touchdowns and 28 interceptions next year, going to next offseason, then you consider signing Cam Newton. But I think someone's going to sign Cam. That team's going to probably be the Chargers, honestly. They're looking at Colin Kaepernick, so they'll probably take a look at Cam as well, and they'll realize that Colin is not as polished as Cam, and they'll probably sign Cam. Also, maybe a team like they like Drew Lock. They didn't do all that for Drew Lock in the draft to just pick up Cam Newton. No, not the Broncos. I would want to say team that wants Cam Newton. That's kind of tough. It's not skin talk, but I'll answer the question for you. So it's a tough one for me to answer you right now. Maybe the Raiders. To believe it or not, if they don't really think Carr or Mariota are the answer. Probably the Chargers, in my eyes. If they look at Tyrod Taylor going in the training camp, he's not playing well. He's had bad practices, bad preseason games, things like that. I think an injury's going to have to happen, to be honest with you. I'll look at Philadelphia, too, because Carson Wentz does say hurt, and let's say Jalen Hurts is not ready to play. Eagles also another possibility. The Redskins are a small possibility as well, but I really doubt for signing Cam. Those are the 3 teams I'll be looking at. Chargers, Eagles, and probably Raiders. And that's probably about it. Bro, mute the TV, bro. Thank you. Sorry. That's about it. That'd be the team that would sign Cam in my eyes. Thank you for your question. I definitely believe that. Cam deserves a chance. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I do like the win as well, like you do as well. And we'll see. We'll see what's up with Cam. I think an injury's going to have to happen before Cam gets a starting job. But as a backup, I think definitely the Eagles will look at him. So that's pretty much about it on this stream. I think I'm pretty much done. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for everything, man. Share this with your friends and family, so they can join the ProTech family as well. View, rate, comment, subscribe if you're new. Also, turn on post notifications onto the ProTech Sports video. Put God first out the way, man. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay blessed. Always remember, you're the most athletic or talented. If you're the most professional, technical in your sport of choice, you will always overcome talent and athletic discrepancies. Athleticism and talent only takes you so far, but professionalism and technical soundness takes you further than anything else. I'm gone, bro. Take it easy. I'm still in the game. Are you? Take it easy, bro. I'm out of here. More content coming this week. If you don't follow my blog on Weebly.com, just look up ProTech Sports Weebly, and I will give you the full video schedule on my blog. I will no longer be doing video weekly upload schedule videos. The viewership is not enough for me to do those, so I'd rather just put them on the blog to give the blog some love, and also to let you guys know what I'm putting up this week. So if you want to see the full upload schedule, it will be on my blog in about 2 hours. So I'm gone, bro. Have a great one.